I'm not joking. There was one play where Angel Reese dribbled backwards. She backed into Aaliyah Edwards and tripped over her own feet and got free throws that led to Angel Reese breaking a coach's clipboard. This was Caitlin Clark, you just know they'd be calling out her anger problems.
There's frustration, and then there's Angel Reese frustration. Imagine putting up 22 points, grabbing 15 boards, dragging your team into a tight finish, and then watching it all slip through your fingers thanks to one soft foul and a lost timeout. So what does Angel do? She walks straight over and in one clean motion destroys her coach's clipboard, snaps it like it owed her money. In the middle of a tie game with 29 seconds left, Reese's emotions boiled over and that clip is now burning up the internet. But here's the real kicker. If this had been Caitlin Clark breaking something courtside, you already know what the headlines would be. Anger problems, meltdown, lack of leadership. But with Angel, suddenly it's competitive fire. The double standard is loud, and so was that snap. But there's way more to this wild finish than just a clipboard. Because between the whistles, the blown calls, and the missed chances, this one had chaos written all over it. Refs were blowing whistles like they got paid per foul. It felt like a haunted gym, phantom calls flying left and right. And through all the madness, Angel Reese somehow shot 15 free throws. 15. And no, not all of them were deserved. One play saw her backpedal into Aaliyah Edwards' trip over her own feet and still walk away with free throws like it was a loyalty reward. But hey, while the refs were handing out calls like Oprah, you get a foul, you get a foul. Let me hit y'all with one too. If you're watching this and still not subscribed, what are we even doing? More than 99% of our viewers don't sub, and we're over here breaking down every W moment like we're the ones catching elbows in the paint. So if you want us to keep delivering the drama, smash that like button and sub before Angel breaks our morale the way she broke that clipboard.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Now back to the madness. Reese wasn't the only one getting freebies. Shakira Austin had 13 trips to the line, and yet somehow the Mystics couldn't take advantage. Missed shots, missed chances, this game was drunk, and nobody sobered it up. So here's how it all unraveled. Tie game, 29 seconds left, nerves on edge, and Angel Reese draws a foul, soft as a pillow. But instead of just letting it ride, Reese pleads with Coach Tyler Marsh to challenge it. Big mistake. The refs barely blink before slapping down the challenge and saying nah, and just like that, boom, one timeout wasted. No challenge win, no reversal, just a busted timeout and a team now scrambling with the clock melting. Angel's face said it all, and then her hands said even more. She stormed over and cracked the clipboard like it was made of crackers, leaving fans and media in collective shock. But here's where it gets spicy. If this were Caitlin Clark, think pieces, headlines, talk shows full of people diagnosing her temperament. But Angel, oh, it's just passion. The hypocrisy couldn't be louder if it had its own PA system. Reese is a competitor, no doubt, but this snap was more than emotion. It cost her team a shot at tying it up. One bad call turned into a lost timeout, and that's a hard pill to swallow when the game's on the line. Cripper drama aside, Angel Reese showed up. We're talking 22 points, 15 rebounds, and enough energy to power a small city. Say what you want about the whistles, but she fought for every board like it was the last fry in the bag. And the real X factor in all of it? Elizabeth Williams. The way those two play off each other is night and day compared to when Reese shares the floor with Camila Cardoso. No shade, okay? Maybe a little, but Williams just makes Reese better. It's smoother, more balanced, and a whole lot more competitive. Unpopular opinion incoming. Williams might be flat out better than Cardoso right now. The timing, the screens, the awareness, it all clicks. While Cardoso's still finding her WNBA rhythm, Williams has been grinding and thriving in her role. And when she's on the floor with Angel, you feel it. That duo is the reason Chicago had a pulse in this game at all. They're scrappy, physical, and straight up refuse to quit. Forget the clipboard for a second. Angel's game is maturing, and when Williams is beside her, the skies start to look like they've actually got something to build on. While Angel and Liz were putting in work down low, the backcourt looked like it was still searching for GPS directions. Chicago's guard rotation is giving throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Ryan Jefferson or Haley Van Lith, neither one's commanding the floor. Sure, HVL might give you a spark here or there, but Jefferson just fades into the background. When your point guards can't control pace, hit shots, or feed your bigs consistently, you're basically hooping in the dark. Maddie Westbeld hit a big three, but defensively she got cooked like Sunday dinner. Kia Nurse splashed a couple of threes, then airballed the one that could have given them the lead. Beck Allen, once the Sky's quiet assassin, has suddenly become a ghost. No rhythm, no impact. It's like someone hit the off switch. And let's not forget, this is all happening in a game where the margin of error was razor thin. When you've got Angel breaking clipboards in frustration, part of that has to reflect how chaotic the guard play is. The team's rhythm is off. There's no conductor, and without structure, even your best bigs start forcing things just to make something happen. Chicago doesn't just need talent, they need a floor general. If Chicago was messy, Washington was the definition of almost. The Mystics had every chance to steal this win, but they just couldn't finish the job. Shakira Austin did everything but put on a cape. 13 free throws, bruising paint presence, and second chance buckets that kept them alive. But missed free throws down the stretch, that was the dagger. Brittany Sykes' late game situation, 2 crucial shots at the line, brick. The kind of misses that echo in a silent gym. And then there's freshman phenom Sonia Citron. She was everywhere. At one point, she led the Mystics in points, rebounds, and assists. She even buried a huge 3 to give them the lead when things got dicey. That's the stuff you expect from an all-star, not a rookie. The problem? The rest of the squad didn't follow her lead. Kiki Iriafen struggled to find her rhythm, and while Aaliyah Edwards brought solid minutes, it still wasn't enough to close out the win. The Mystics had the energy, the looks, and the possessions. What they didn't have was composure. And in a game this tight, composure is everything. You don't need a highlight reel, you need ice in your veins. And unfortunately, the only thing freezing in the fourth was their shooting. Here's the thing about Angel Reese. She's not just hooping better, she's growing right in front of us. Her numbers are trending up, her rebounding remains elite, and she's starting to read the game like a vet. But when it comes to how the media handles her, still 2 different worlds. You've got folks ready to label her every show of emotion as passion, while others twist the same thing into a narrative about attitude. Meanwhile, when Caitlin Clark did something nearly identical, throwing a water bottle in frustration, the headlines hit way harder. The coverage isn't just inconsistent, it's biased, plain and simple. Let's not forget, a credentialed media member once called Clark a white teenage boy using her privilege and somehow still kept their credentials. But Angel? Every reaction is under a microscope, and that clipboard moment, it'll be dissected, clipped, and debated for days. But under all the noise, one thing remains true. The better Angel plays, the more she forces everyone to pay attention, whether they like her or not. And if this is how she handles heartbreak mid-season, just imagine the fire she'll bring when the stakes get even higher. At the end of the day, this game won't be remembered for the missed free throws or who boxed out better. It'll be remembered for that moment. Angel Reese tied game, 29 seconds on the clock, shattering a clipboard like it was holding back her entire season's frustration. It was raw, it was emotional, and it was real. Sure, it was a questionable decision to burn that challenge, and sure, that timeout could have changed the final possession, but in that moment, Angel wasn't thinking strategy, she was feeling everything. That's what competitors do. They break a clipboard today so they don't break down later. Still, if you're gonna scrutinize her, do it with the same energy across the board. The WNBA is full of stars who've shown emotion, made mistakes, and gotten second chances. Angel deserves the same, because one thing's for sure, when she plays like this, You want her fired up. You want her hungry. And sometimes that hunger cracks a clipboard. So if you're still here, clearly you're locked in like Angel in the fourth. Go ahead, drop a comment with your take on the meltdown, smash that like button like it's a coach's clipboard, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next viral W moment. We've got more heat coming, and trust, you won't want to miss what's next.